Matt, privacy has now become a critical aspect of the security realm. It's becoming critical for regulatory reasons. It's becoming critical because there's community pressure, and it's become a business differentiator. Am I missing anything of why privacy has become such a hot issue?
I think you got it. I mean, the other big piece I would mention is the advancement of AI. AI technology is forcing, especially lawmakers, to really think about how we're going to function with this technology without some sort of a regulatory privacy baseline underneath it.
What have been the regulatory pressures? In my feeling, it kind of started with GDPR. That was such a big one. All of Europe, that pretty much everyone standardized at that point.
Because of the cascading effect of GDPR and essentially, larger companies pushing down these requirements onto vendors, which is another aspect of GDPR. Every US business essentially is getting caught up in that. And I think that set the tone.
There's some way you're going to get it attached to that, because a vendor who wants to work with you, even though you're not doing European business, it's going to kind of demand that.
That's right, because that vendor needs to stay compliant, and they have to say who do they share that data with, or who do they utilize as a subprocessor, and they can't utilize you as a subprocessor if you yourself are not compliant.
The next stage of community pressure is really privacy being seen as a differentiator, and I remember seeing this mostly in like Apple's marketing materials. That seemed to be a real good push, because that could be something that could differentiate the business.
The Europeans have a deeper privacy culture that has been more long-lasting.
Yes.
And I feel like it's just now that Americans are kind of waking up to this idea that, I basically, am on Google Maps. They're just not showing me, and everything that I do, everything that I searched, everyone whose phone I came in contact with, that they know that. For some folks, that's a concern, just this commercial power. And then for other folks, I think they see, there's a very thin line between private organizations having this information and then moving that to some sort of a government type of a request.
And then just how do you feel about it being a true differentiator? Like, security can come in and say, this is how we're going to sell privacy, and you should put them in the forefront in your market materials to sell to the public directly.
Honestly, I still don't see it as an extremely potent issue yet in the U.S. public consciousness. Much more so, as I said, in Europe. But I think that is changing. When that community pressure builds to a point, then I think more businesses will want to get on board and, demonstrate that they're responsible stewards of people's privacy.
We're going to be discussing this very issue this Friday on Super Cyber Friday. The topic of discussion, well, what Matt and I have just been talking about, hacking U.S. data privacy. We're going to tackle all these topics. We want you to get involved. Help us with the discussion. We'll want your bad ideas as well. Anyways, all the information you want to know about that, it's right here.